has gotten a lot smarter as a driver. Last year they ran races.
Oh, trouble
stuff up.
Juan Pablo Montoya, Bobby Labonte in the 43. A lot of guys dodging traffic back there. Caution is out. Inside of 30 to go. Position last time by. Ooh. Oh! Montoya with the wild ride. Who was at the hit of the wall first?
I think, did Labonte get into somebody?
Yeah, no, it looked like the 0-0.
Got
into the outside wall. Bobby, it looked like
there he
left.
stayed up top. Well, but he was already wrecking there. But yeah, that was just a chain reaction.
And Bobby turns left and checks up, and then Montoya just runs all over him.
David Rudiman.
But Montoya's got no place to go. Let me be clear on that too. It's not that he ran over him,
but he did.
Yeah,
literally.
What part was it where there's a lot of damage to that 43? You can see that.
In front of you, Jim. Go high, go high, go high.
That's Earnhardt there, isn't it?
That's Earnhardt again. That's the 8 car again.
He's having a wonderful night.
Yeah, 26 laps down, having all kinds of fun.
That's why when you're 26 laps down, you don't want to be running in a pack, because you just get gathered in somebody else's stuff, man.
And they can't seem to get organized in that outside lane like they were earlier.
Whoa, contact. Stephen Wallace gets sideways. He is tapped from behind. And this is the one no one wanted, the big one late, and Stephen Light has nowhere to go head on into the 41 car. There's the 90 car of Stephen Light, who's having such a great run as the 41 car of Reed Sorensen got spun around. And looks like the 66 car of Stephen Wallace might have gotten a little tap. His car abruptly turned sideways, and boy, that Stephen Wallace cannot catch a break either. They have had miserable luck the last 3 or 4 events. From the Goodyear blimp, watch the 66 car.
Here again, he's up against the car right in front of him, who was Casey Kane, but he's still getting that push from behind because Reed Sorensen can't see that he's totally against that car, and that's where it just gets down to the end of this race, and we start. I say we do it in the Cup race too. You start running into each other and trying to help them get to the front as fast as you can.
Yeah, we heard Greg Biffle talking about it. That if you can't see through these race cars, so you can't tell what the guy in front of you is dealing with, and they just start stacking up. Can't really put the blame on one person here. It's just all kind of shared back through there.
Yeah, I'm sure Stephen, he's probably got a foot on the brake because he's right against the 9 car, but he's getting hit hard from behind, and then it just shoots him right out of the pack. We've been fortunate all day that we haven't really had very many cars involved in these accidents at a time, but we got down to the end when it was time to try to win, and people like Stephen Light, unfortunately, that weren't even a part of the beginning of this get involved.
You could have one spring rubber cut in about 4 pieces, and you ease them out as the race goes along.
Jeff Green and Bobby Labonte.
Scott Wimmer in a 22 You can close your eyes and know that Bobby Labonte was going to be in it.
Bobby Labonte was ill to start the day, add ill-tempered. Carl Edwards and Robbie Gordon just squeaked through.
And you can look at it and you can say, well, why didn't Mark back off? That's a point over there where there's nothing you can do. That guy in the 43, Jeff Green, he probably had to pedal it a little bit. Mark got into him.
Said Carl Edwards. Actually, that was Casey Mears who just slipped through there in the green car.
You can use the apron here to make a pass. You get into 3, drop those left wheels on there.
Brent Sherman goes around. Tyler Walker with him in the 38. And that piles up at least 4 cars. Sherman is the 58 on the right of your screen. And he brings out the caution for the 3rd time tonight.
Here, 38's down on the bottom. He gets the left wheel down on the apron a little bit, and then he shoves right up into the 58 car there, and nowhere for these other guys to go.
David Gilliland in the 54 almost made it by on the high side, and they pinned him at the last minute. See Derek Cope in the 28 car just getting through.
Now there's the first contact. Both cars go around. Jeffrey Bodine has to spin his own car. 54 has no place to go.
I'm thinking Jeffrey Bodine is going to be okay. I don't believe he made much contact with anybody. But the 38 car definitely got down underneath car number 58 there, and Britt Sherman, and got into him, and that's what turned him around.
Sauter, Kenny Wallace, Reed Sorensen, Paul Menard, and Jason Keller, the top 10.
But I think our problem...
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Reed Sorensen, the 41 car. McMurray, the 64 car.
32 cars, the whole crowd.
At least 5 cars piled up.
The worst restarts tonight I think I've seen all year long.
A lot of damage on this 41 car. You see all the damage on Jamie McMurray, the 64 car. Remember, Reed Sorensen came into this race second in points. Looked like he had an opportunity to really capitalize on that with the problems that Carl Edwards had.
One more time on the restart. Somebody doesn't get going.
Nobody
way up in the front. Nobody
Greg
went.
Biffle, our leader, the 66, didn't get going.
Very slow restart for Biffle, and everything stacks up behind him until there's nowhere to go.
Looked like it really started when Kenny Wallace in the 22 got to the back of Johnny Sauter in the 1, but really no one up in even front of them got going.
Let's ride with Kenny.
That's where the real problem started, right there.
You're good. You're good. You're good. Carlson's out. Carlson's out. Now this is Shane Beal, and he got some of the worst of it.
Oh, David Stremme, the 14, got in the left side of him.
Michael Waltrip's view behind Denny Hamlin.
Stacking up, stacking up. Here, just watch them. All over the bottom.
Wow. Good getaway. How about David Stremme? Let's ride with the Navy car.
Ready, and... Green.
4.
Watch it, just back it down here. Back it down, watch it. Yellow's out. That hit the door. Anything here? You're okay, you're okay.
He and his teammate, Burton. The mayor.
Oh, trouble. Junior's in the wall. Montoya.
Joey Logano.
Logano gets hit. Edwards in the infield. And more.
See what happens here. Of course, we were talking about the 18 was having trouble going, and now he's got Junior up behind him. And I said he had to anticipate. Looks like Bobby Labonte in the 47 car.
Ooh, Carl Edwards and Regan Smith.
I believe Carl got in. He definitely got into Dale Jr. I'm not sure if Regan Smith pushed him up there or not. Take another look at it.
From Jimmy Johnson.
Outside, too wide.
Oh, yeah. Carl got into the right rear of Dale Jr., and Dale Jr. got into the 78 car of Regan Smith.
Almost looked like Carl Edwards tried to go through a hole that wasn't quite wide enough for that 99 car.
Yeah, he's trying to slip right in there, and he couldn't make it. And then Dale Jr. bounced off of Carl and got into Regan Smith.
A wild slide into the corner. And let's take Joey Logano's wild ride. Logano was holding his line till he got center punched by the 97, and then that big noise was Montoya.
Going low.
Oh, Buckshot got in trouble. He was sideways off there too, got loose, and Tony Stewart just came up on him so fast, nowhere to go. There's where Jeff Gordon got the damage. Sterling Marley gets through, and Bill Elliott gets through.
Oh,
and there's
my
the
goodness. Spencer just pile drove Stewart's car. There you see Ward Burton get caught up in it, and a host of cars on the outside.
Another view, just see Buckshot Jones in the 44.
There was so much smoke that Spencer and those guys just could not see. There's all the smoke out there. So watch, these guys are coming here and they can't see. They're coming out of the smoke. It's like coming out of a bank of fog.
Wow, what a hit.
Oh, my goodness.
And at that
speed, Darrell, from 300 feet away. What can you do? Well, there's nothing. You're at just the mercy of the track either opening up and you slip through. In front of you there. Watch in front of you there. Come on, come on, come on. Go back to the caution. Go back to caution. Come on. 24 is the leader. Watch the 9 outside.
Whoa, contact back there, the 00. Jeff Gordon is involved as well. Rudeman. Kevin Harvick somehow gets through. David Gilliland is involved, the 88 of Ricky Rudd.
It's like Jeff Gordon just got in the side of Jeremy Mayfield, shot up the track, and Jeff got slight damage on the left front. It looks like not near as much as I thought.
And Kevin Harvick just shoots right through the gap, makes it through this wreck.
That could have been disastrous for Kevin Harvick trying to hang on to a spot in the chase.
There you go. Inside back here, wrecking behind us. See David Rudeman didn't see that coming. He was on the top side of the racetrack. When Gordon got into Jeremy Mayfield, knocked him up into David Rudeman. And Jeff must have really got loose.
Come on, hustle, nobody. You're good.
Dave?
Clear up. Big wreck behind you. Hell of a job.
Look at it again. On board from Jeff Green's onboard kit.
He's out of it. I can't help you. He's out of it. All right, come up high a little bit. One lane up. Clear right there.
NASCAR sending a warning from race control to the drivers. Oh, 41 that they needed to settle down. And here we go. Dale Jr.'s in it. Jimmy Johnson.
And Mark Martin's in it.
Mark Martin has spun. I don't think he got hit.
And he continues on. I don't know how much damage he has.
Yeah, I just don't.
And welcome into the 400-point number with Jimmy Johnson, because look at the damage on the nose of the 48. Take a look at what happened.
I never see Jimmy Spencer in the 4 car just come up and get in the 41 car and kind of turn him around. There's Jimmy Johnson. He runs into, who's he going to hit? The 25. And Jeff Gordon somehow gets through this.
And Mark Martin.
You got a lot of guys in that top 10 of points right there. Dale Jr. got turned around. Mark Martin really dodged a bullet on this deal. This could have cost him a shot at that top 10 right there.
It's Mark and Dale Jarrett that bounced off each other a little bit.
Big Jr. has some pretty serious damage on that 8 car. And Brian Vickers' 25 car, a lot of damage.
A lot of good race cars tore up in that deal.
Crash. Another crash on the racetrack. 4 cars involved. Scott Riggs tries to avoid it. 25 of Casey Mears involved.
You're looking at last year's Charger nose in that 19 car. Let's take a look at this replay.
Looks almost the same as the last wreck we saw. These 2 cars just getting together. Just not enough room for these other guys.
Guys, we talked earlier in our broadcast about you need to get single file down into turn 1 and into turn 3, and they're not completing these passes as they get in a corner. And you can see the 25 car of Casey Mears gets arrow loose and gets up into the side of Johnny Sauter.
It's just so hard to pass getting in the corner at this racetrack. You really have to start that pass off the corner and try to clear them on the straightaway.
Out from the onboard camera for Elliott Sadler, the Allstate onboard. Let's listen.
Clear, all clear about 2. Picking up here. Come on the low side. Come on the low side. Get going when you can, man. Get going when you can. Get going when you can. 45 ran over us right there.
Guys, from a driver's perspective, getting down into turn 3, when you see him wrecking in front of you, you're to change reactions. Take a look at this. A little bit of wrecking in front of you. He just tries to slow up. The 19 car does, and he just can't get high in the racetrack. Elliott Sadler does, and that wreck happens. But it's all about arrow loose getting in the corner.
There's more. They're still wrecking. Look at that. A big pile up in turn 2, and it happened well off the lead in about the 3rd pack of cars. As they ran 3 wide and got closer and closer, something finally gave.
Casey Atwood's in it. Justin Labonte's in it. Up against the wall, that looks like Justin Ashburn. Ashton Lewis was there because Gus Wasson and the 79 of Keith Berg, who had just gotten the free pass on the last caution.
Quick enough. See if we can see what happened back in here. I think I see a blue car going to hit a green one. Yep.
That's Fedowa going sideways.
Yeah. I believe that was Jeff Spraker in the 56. We just had talked about him. Gets into the back of him. DW, this is the trouble spot of this racetrack off turn 2. Always is.
Yeah, it is. Fedowa was lucky to get away because the big pileups out in the middle of the racetrack.
The whole thing about it is, there, you think back to Casey Kane in Cup practice. There's a big dip right down there in the middle of 1 and 2. And when you hit that dip, it upsets the car, and you never quite catch up with it. And sometimes you just get out of control off 2.
Not sure who that is, but he manages to drive right through it all without getting hit. All right, watch the bright green car of Fedowa right there on the right of your screen.
Here comes that's Spraker underneath of him, and he just pushes up into him. There's Ashton Lewis and the rest of the crowd.
Well, Fedowa drives away.
Lucky man.
But when Ashton Lewis drove to the right to miss it, actually he got into it. Things stacked up behind him, and you see they're still wrecking back there.
And DW, we see that a lot. The car wants to move up the racetrack right there. Yeah, the driver just, it sucks the air off the nose. And the front of the car takes off, and you can't do anything about it except either hit the wall or the guy beside you. It's a really tough spot right on this racetrack.
There's the rest of it unfolding.
That's why a lot of guys like to run off that corner real high. You get up high there, you get a little bit better angle. Get down low, it just seems like the car wants to pick up a great big push. And it takes off, and when it does, you can't do anything about it. Right with Kenny Wallace right here, this is what it looked like out of his rear bumper back at this track.
Well, let's look at it from up above and see how all this unfolds. There's the green car left of your screen. There's the initial contact. Now watch that white car go to the outside, and that's where the log jam is, right there.